Raja Parikshit this evening, who is a king. Raja Parikshit is preparing for his demise. He's preparing for death. What preparation have we made for death? Is anybody here this evening prepared for death? Is anybody here ready to die? A few days ago, Pandit Vinod and I and the Swami, we had the privilege of doing a funeral, and the cremation was right here, a few minutes away from this temple. And we happened to reach the crematorium a little bit early, and so the girl from the crematorium said to me, she said, Pandit, I know it is late and so the chamber is ready, and if you want to do the cremation before time, before 8 o'clock, now is 6 o'clock, then it is fine. Just let us know and we will facilitate you. I spoke to members of the family and they say, well, anytime you say, Pandit, we will go ahead. I go back outside in the corridor to look for the girl who just spoke to me, and she is nowhere to be seen. I open the first door and there is a casket wide open and a lady lying in it. I close back the door quickly. I go to the next room and I open the door and there is another casket lying and another lady. I close back the door quickly. I open the third door, and when I open the third door, the casket is open and the girl is in the room. And as she turns to talk to me, the cover falls along. Boop. She looked at me, she said, Pandit, what did you do? I said, me? I am by the door and you are next to whoever it is. Can I see who died? Tonight, what will happen to us when we die? We are very conscious about our body. We are very conscious about how we look. We are very conscious about what we wear. We are very conscious of what people think of us. But have we given thought that our body remains right here and our soul stands in front of God? Have we given thought that our body remains right here, but our soul stands accountable to God for the actions that would have been performed? Every religion and every scripture says a day of accounting will come when we will have to stand in front of God to tell God about the life that we would have lived. What will we say to God? We will have to tell God about all the good things we did and all the bad things we did. There are some people, they walk and they pretend. When you look at them, you think they don't mash hands. And we live in a time and an age where we live among pretenders. We live among people who hug us and pretend they love us. But if they could destroy us, you know what happened? You're gone and you know you're gone. Raja Parikshit is preparing for death. He is preparing for his demise. What have you done to prepare yourself for death? When we die, our soul stands in front of God. And God says, tell me. What does he want to hear? Tell me. He's interested. Tere karam kahani, tere atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Tere karam kahani, tere atma bhi jani, paramatma bhi jani. Kaju dena re prani, prani re. I sent you into the world and I gave you eyes. What did you see? Well, some of us, like me, we're in real trouble because we have 4 eyes. There are a million good things for us to see, but we see all the things we are not supposed to see. God said, I sent you into the world and I gave you ears. What did you listen to? We're so caught up listening to everybody else's business, we have forgotten to mind our own business. God said, I sent you into the world and I gave you the nostrils. What did you inhale? Last night I said to Baba, I said, if you do the Hawan like that tonight again, we'll all be dead. The smoke. And Baba said, that's good smoke. You'll breathe in divine smoke before you die. And I said to him, "But Baba, I'm not ready to die yet. So please don't light up the fire too early." God will say, "I sent you into the world and I gave you the mouth. What did you say?" There are a million good things to say. But 99.9% of the time is something bad we're saying. True or not? We live in a time and an age where even we have to make up something bad to say about somebody, we'll do that. We talk about people we don't even know. We say things about people we have never ever met in our whole life. God said, "I sent you to the world and I gave you hands." What did you do? Long ago, the old people used their hands to do all the good things. The mother and the father of the hostas, they were like custodians of the temple. They lived right over the road. And they will come to do the seva and to sweep and to clean and to dust and to prepare for the puja. What will we do with our hands? God has blessed us with the ability to do. God said, "I gave you legs. Where did you go?" "Well, Baba, I had a choice, I could have chosen to come to the yajna, but Chutney Monak was the same night. And so I couldn't go to the two places because I have 2 foot, yes. But if my 2 foot wasn't in the same place, well, something wrong with me. So I chose to go to the chutney. I came to the prayers 2 nights and 1 night chutney. When I came in this evening, my aunt, who came all the way from Norway for the yajna, Radhika, the big mala was placed around my neck and Uncle Sham said, "Don't worry, it's not heavy." And when he put it, my neck went down. And Auntie Radhika looked at me and she said, "Don't worry, I made this little mala with my own hand for you. And when you wear this mala tonight, do not take it off. Keep it on." And so I kept it on. This evening, what will we use our hand to do? What actions will we perform with our hands and with our mouth and with our ears and with our eyes? Uncle Kumar said to me, when he was celebrating his anniversary, I said to him, "Uncle Kumar, so much years you are married to Auntie. What's the secret to living a happy life?" He said, "Boy, I have to show you. I can't tell you." I said, "Show me. I want to know. I want to see. Tell me." And he took off his glasses. And he said, "The key to living a happy married life and any kind of life is to learn when to take your 2 hands and do this." He said, "The key to living a happy life is to know when to take your 2 hands and do this. And the key to living an even happier life is to learn when to take your 2 hands and your 2 foot and do this." If we learn to hush our talking, if we learn to reserve our comments, then life will become smooth sailing. If we learn to mind our own business, then life becomes smooth sailing. But we like to know everybody else's business. We like to know everything. We want to know everything. Tonight, Raja Parikshit sits, and this great king, the Katha is being told to him. Who is telling the Katha? Sri Sukdev Muni. Listen, Sukdev Uvacha. He begins to talk. He begins to tell. What does he say? Listen. Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan. Sing with me.
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
I can't hear you. Sing with me, everybody. Let's sing together. Clap your hands, everybody.
Narayan Sri Narayan,
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
Shuklam Varanam Devam Shashi Varanam Chaturbhuja Prasanna Varanam Dhyaye Sarva Viganopashantaye Ya Kunne Tudushara Haridhavala Ya Shupra Vasravita Ya Veena Vararanda Mandarikara Ya Sweta Paramasana Ya Brahma Chutar Shankara Pravitavir Deve सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापं गोविन्द गोविन्द हरे मुरारी गोविन्द गोविन्द मुकुन्द कृष्ण गोविन्द गोविन्द रताङ्गपाणि दामोदर माधवीत्यो नमस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे कुलारवृन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्री परीक्षित उवाच जिसमें पहले का सुंदर कथा है उन करने का सुते मुनि की ब्राह्मणों की बेटे देखो नदी के आसन बेटे स्वर्गलोक तथा भक्ति का भाव देखो उनकी का रक्षा करने भगवान की शरीर होते हैं। समय बाद एक चांदल की रहता तथा वह भगवान विष्णु की भक्त था उन्हों एकादशी का व्रत करने वाले हैं। नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण
नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण
Sing with me, everybody, let's sing. नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण बोलो
नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण।
Vishnu Bhagavan ki jai. Sukhdev Muni begins to tell Raja Parikshit. He says at one time there lived a Chandal. Who is a Chandal? A Chandal is a being who comes from a particular caste, and that Chandal is considered to be like an outcast. He is considered to be like a person whom everybody they scorn. Have you ever had the emotion of scorn when you think of something or somebody? Hello? Trinidadians? We scorn everything, true or not? The Chandal is a being whom is considered to be like an outcast. He is considered to be low, if that is the correct word to use. This evening, what makes us low or what makes us high? What makes us better than everybody else? What makes us great? Tonight I want to tell you, whether how high or how low you think you are, whether how great or how weak you think you are, whether how wealthy or how poor you think you are, whether how healthy or how sick you consider yourself to be, none of us we are better than any one of us. You agree? There's some people, they think they have money and they're above everybody else. There's some people, they think that they sit in a position and they're above everybody else. There's some people who live their lives as though they're floating on a cloud and they think that they're better than everybody else. And their whole life is centered around a competition. And everything about them is a competition and to compete. Anything you live your life as a competition, then you will never enjoy life. Then you will never enjoy the luxuries that life has to offer to you. You know that there is a time to play and you know that there is a time to pray. You know there is a time to enjoy the world and you know there is a time to commune with God. And you are able to cipher and to decide when that time is. This Chandal was considered to be low, but this Chandal was a bhakta. He was a devotee of Bhagavan Vishnu. And he observed the fast of Ekadasi. Observing this fast of the Ekadasi, what will happen? that day had come. And so as the day of Ekadasi had come, this Chandal, he ventured into the forest. And as he entered into the forest, he went with an intention in mind. Every time we go, every time we attend a function that we're invited to, we go with an intention in mind. True or not? True or not? Baba, you know I got invited, but if I don't show my face, it could look bad. Is it your face you came to show? Then send a picture. And bring the picture up by me, and I'll sit down on it. Because you never go to prayers to show your face. You go to prayers because you genuinely want to go. You go to prayers because prayers has an effect on you. It leaves you craving for more and more and more, and you could never get enough. But even prayers has become a competition. Even prayers has become a competition. You spend all your time thinking of decoration and food, and you never one day sit down and say, God, I'm begging you, please come to my prayers. When Uncle Sham printed the invitations for this yakya, the first thing he did, he brought the entire stack of invitations and he said to me, bless them. Bless them so that we will invite God first to the yakya. Tonight, it was the day of Ekadasi, and so this Chandal, this being, he entered into the forest and he entered with an intention. What intention? Listen, it tells us. देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान ओ कितना बदल गया इंसान ओ कितना बदल गया इंसान परमात्माए रामाए गोविंदाय नमो नमः। एक भ्रष्टाचार जब उसके का पूजा की अपनी पुरों का करने देखो पूर का चढ़ावे भगवान विष्णु के पैर का प्रार्थना उनके करने है उसके के दानव बिनती का पादुका का लेने करने है जिसमें का सिर का लगना होते करने हैं चोर का दिया कर करने रहता है श्री परमात्मने नमः।
आया समय बरा की गंगा
It was that day, and so he was planning to pray. So he entered into the forest, and the intention in which he entered was to gather flowers that would be used to offer the feet of Bhagavan Vishnu. He took his basket, and taking his basket, he entered into the forest. Have you given thought, or can you remember, in time gone by, the old people, they all had a basket that was called a market basket? You all remember that? The old people had a basket that was called a market basket. If you don't remember that, you have to be old like me. And they had a particular bag that was called a market bag. I think they still have the market bag. The market bag has now become $10. He took his basket and he entered into the forest with the hope of gathering flowers. When is the last time you picked flowers to offer to Bhagwan, to God? When is the last time you took your hand and you picked the leaves that will be offered in puja? Long ago, we took pride in picking and preparing for puja. In 2019, we hire a man who will do that for us. Long ago, everybody rushing to go to the neem tree and rushing to go to the bale tree and rushing for the flowers. And there was one place in the village we know we will get everything. You all remember? If you didn't have it at home, you know exactly whose house to go by for the pan leaf and the bay leaf and the neem leaf and even the mango leaf. In time gone by, all of us, we were privileged to have close to our jhandi a mango tree where the jhandi will be planted. You all remember that? Now, you have to buy mango. I said to members of our group, the Ganesh Utsav is coming, so I know a place where we will get good mango for the Ganesh Utsav. And they said to me, where? I say, on the creek. They say, on the creek? I said, what is the difference if we go and pick it for ourselves on the creek, or we buy it from a man who pick it on the creek in the market? We could be smart and pick it for ourselves and pay little or nothing for it. Or we could go and pay a mountain of money and get the same mango. And they said to me, but that's dead mango. What makes the mango dead or alive? Baba, I'm only eating bhaji and bodhi and I'm only eating those things. And you go to the market and you well buy. And the dashin bush you buy, plant in the cemetery. And you didn't even know that. Close to the cemetery. You're afraid to walk because you don't want the mud to touch your foot. But you're eating the bhaji plant in the cemetery. Have you given thought to that? Long ago, you wanted bhaji to eat. There was a place in the back of the house where bhaji was planted. You all could remember that? You wanted bodhi to eat. There was a wire. And there was bodhi planted at the side of the house. You wanted a pepper to put in a pot. There was a pepper tree right in front of the house in a trough. You all remember that? Long ago, you could have gone in the neighbor yard and picked the neighbor pepper too. Now the neighbor build a wall, you know if he living or he dead. Last week, I came outside and I'm hearing this mic. And I'm thinking, somebody died. Who will die? And about 5 houses down, I look down and I see the hearse parked up in the yard. The hearse and the mic alone. Nothing and nobody, no tent, no nothing, no indication of a death. I go upstairs, I say, you know what, I'll change my clothes and I'll go and see if somebody died. And by the time I'm in the bathroom bathing to change, I'm hearing the mic going. I don't even know where it's going to, so I could follow to go, to make sure who dead really dead. Even a funeral today, you need an invitation for. Long ago, there was a thing called a wake when somebody died. Baba, we ain't gonna wake tonight and tomorrow night, you know. We're gonna have a little thing the night before the funeral, but it would start 7 o'clock and it would finish 8 o'clock. Because we have to get up early for the funeral. And everything has become commercialized. Even when you're dead, is a commercial thing. You know? He walked into the forest with his basket. And as he entered in the forest, he started picking the flowers as fast as he could. And he chose the best that he could find. And as his basket was filled and he turned, suddenly he saw in front of him an asura, a demon-looking being who appeared to be like a bhoot, like a spirit. And this being, seeing him, this being grabbed hold of him. And this being started to laugh. And as this being grabbed hold of him, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
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 Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। उसने की तांडव के प्रकट करने, देख और प्रकृति का पूजन करने, कृपा से मुझने रक्षा की रहते हैं भगवान दास की उनकर करने, देख और पूज चढ़ावे की प्रार्थना उनके चरण करने हैं, रक्षा उनके करने अपने की दूचा की साथ साथ करने वाले, देखो रात और दिन की प्रार्थना जपत भगवान विष्णु की स्मरण होते हैं, चांडल की वेद व्यास की अपनी का पूजा की बात व्यास की आगे करने अरे करने हैं। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओ।
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
हरि केशव हरि गोविंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओ।
Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओ।
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari O.
Being captured, he started to beg and he started to cry. And he looked at the demon and he says, "Oh demon, I am begging you, today is the day of the Ekadasi. And so I'm about to pray to Bhagwan Vishnu. Can you permit me to go and perform my puja? And I promise you, I will come back. I promise you I will come back and then you will do whatever it is you wish to do with me. But please allow me to go." Has somebody ever said to you, "Wait, I come in"? And you really sit down and you wait for them? Why you're looking at me? In December, Uncle Kumar called and he said, "I have a diary for you." I said, "Don't worry, I'll come." As soon as I sat here, he brought the diary and he placed it on the Singhasan. Then I remembered the diary. A few days ago, I said to Joyce and I said, "I'm coming." They said, "Don't worry, we will cook and we will wait for you." The next morning, she said, 2 o'clock, we're still waiting for you. I said, "So your phone not working?" I totally forgot. She said, "That's very good, man." How much can we remember? How much should we remember? How much do we remember? Do you know there are many things we should forget, but we keep remembering it all the time? Do you know there are many things we should throw behind our back, but we keep bringing it up all the time? The husband will tell the wife about something that she did. They married for 50 years, but the first year of their marriage. And every time he gets back, he talks about that one thing. Wife, is that true? You must tell him, find something new to talk about now. He looked at the demon and he said, please, I'm begging you, allow me to go and I will come back. There are some people when you leave and they say they're coming back, well, you know what happened? There are some husbands, you send them on a message and you have to call them and remind them they have a house. There's some children, they leave and you have to call them and remind them that they're living some place called home. And if you don't call them, you don't know where they are. You will see on the news tomorrow, that there was a little child burnt in a vehicle this evening. And it is the most disturbing video. When you see that little child burnt and that little child is groaning and moaning in pain because that child is still alive. And I looked at the video on my way here and I gave thought, when we get a little burn, the pain we experience, that child's whole body has been roasted. The skin has cracked open and the entire body of the child has been burnt. And the news report says it's some place in South Trinidad, Tacarigua. Tonight, he promises that he will come back once he's allowed to go. Parents, you're supposed to have a good relationship with your children so that your children, they're able to talk with you, and when they make a promise to you, they will upkeep their promise. You're supposed to be the best friend of your children. Wife, you're supposed to be the best friend of your husband. Husband, you're supposed to be the best friend of your wife. There's some husbands, their wife afraid of them. There's some wives, their husband afraid of them. There's some husbands who think that they're invincible and they want to live life to the fullest. And they feel as though they're macho and they feel as though they're stars. And they treat their wife bad at home and they treat everybody else outside real nice. And their wives who go to sleep every night crying, thinking their husband is treating somebody else nice outside and treating them very bad at home. Wife, don't worry, your day will come. Because you see, the minute he gets sick, whoever it is he treating, dropping him right back home. And you will get your chance to fix him up. Because heaven and hell is right. Karma is right. The actions we perform, we pay for it, right? We don't have to go anywhere to pay for it. We pay for it right here. And I'm not telling you alone, me too. And making this promise, the demon looked at him and the demon thought that he was genuine. How can you know when somebody is genuine? How can you know when somebody is fake? How can you know when something is genuine? How can you know when something is fake? Ever see the costume jewelry? Ever see the real jewelry? The fake one look more real than the real one. And the real one look more fake than the fake one. True or not? And so, the demon thought he was genuine, and the demon freed him. The demon allowed him to go. But as he left there singing. And what was he singing? These were his words. He left there glorifying Bhagwan Vishnu. He Satya Narayan Swami Hamare Dukh Haro Beda Par Karo Beda Par Karo
Satyanarayan Swami Hamare Dukh Haro Beda Par Karo Beda
कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। परमात्माय रामाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। भीख मांगे देख और भाका मुक्ता का लिया करने है। अपने की पूजा पाठ की दानव की प्यास उतर करने है। देख और दानव की छूट गए कि रोना रगते हैं। उन्हों चांदर की देखा रहता का अपने मुझको का प्रार्थना की शरीर होते हैं। देखो अपने का जीवन की मुक्ता श्री भगवान विष्णु की पूजा प्रार्थना करने हैं। देवता से पूछने का भगवान विष्णु की मुक्त करने हैं, मुक्त करने हैं। हे सत्य नारायण स्वामी हमरे दुख हरो। बेड़ा पार करो, बेड़ा पार करो।
सत्यनारायण स्वामी हमारे दुख हरो। बेड़ा पार करो, बेड़ा पार करो।
After begging and pleading with the demon set him free. And as he was set free, he went and he performed his worship. And soon after he has performed his worship, he leaves and he goes back and he stands in front of the demon once more. The demon cannot believe that this being really stood to his word. Has somebody ever promised you something? And when you remind them of their promise, they say, well, I never said that. I say something else, you hear wrong. I never say, I say, might I help you? I didn't say I would I help you. Maida and woulda is two different words. And by the way, I don't even know if those are words. The demon could not believe that this being came back. And as the being stood in front of the being offered prasad to the demon. There's some of us, when we go to the puja, from the time we reach home, everybody asks, where is the prasad? Actually, let me change that. From the time you reach home, the dog is not anxious to see you. The dog anxious to the prasad that you brought back. True or not? Long time you ask for a parcel of prasad for the children home. Now you ask for extra parcel of prasad for the dog. One man said his cat ate so much prasad that he's not saying meow anymore, he's saying give. All the time. Tonight, he goes back and he stands in front of the demon. And standing in front of the demon, being offered the prasad, the demon grabs hold of the prasad. And the demon is in awe, the demon is stunned. The demon cannot believe that his being stood to his word. Tonight, I want to tell you that your word must be your bond. Your word must be your worth. Your word must mean everything. And when you give your word, you must always stand by it. In the Ramayana, Goswami Tulsidas Ji writes, you know what he writes? These are his words. Raghukul riti sarajani aaye, pranin gaye varu bhajan jaye.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय
Turn up your volume. Everybody sing with me. Sri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya. I still can't hear you. Turn up your volume. Jai Ram Sri Rama Jaya Jaya. Sri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya. Raghukul Riti Sada Chali Aayi. Prani न जाए परू बचन न जाए. बड़े भाग्य मानुष तनु पावा. सुध दुर्लभ सब ग्रंथ न गावा. साधन दाम मोक्ष कर द्वारा. पाई न जेहि पद लोक सवारा. Sing with me. Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya. Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya. Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Goswami Tulsidas ji writes, he says Raja Dasarath, who was the king whose name was mentioned in the Ramayana, Raja Dasarath says, it is better for me to lose my life than for me to go against the words that I've uttered. It is better, I prefer to die, but I will never withdraw on the words and the promises that I have made. You know, there are some people who promise, and in your mind you say, because you don't know. You already know. And so, this Chandra, he stood in front of the demon, and standing in front of the demon started to cry. The Chandra looked at the demon and he says, Kono tum, tell me, who are you? Tonight, if I were to ask you, who are you, what will you say? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? My name is Priyanka. Who are you? I'm studying in London. Who are you? I'm the daughter of Sham. Who are you? My mother is sitting right there. Who are you? This is my brother. Who are you? You are my guru. Who are you? You are more than all of those things. Scripture says we must remind ourselves every day. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am God. I am a spark of God. There is God that dwells in me. There is God who dwells around me. And I came from God, and one day I will return to God. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Say it with me. Chidananda Rupa. I can't hear you. Say it with me. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. The Chandra looks at the demon and he says, who are you? Why are you dispositioned as though you're a demon? Why? Tell me. And he says, in my previous birth, I was the putra, the son of a Brahmana. While my father taught the Vedas, and my father sung the holy verses, and he performed worship to the devatas, I was a chore. Chore means a thief. And so whatever my father obtained, I gambled it away. And I lived an unjust life. What type of life are you living? What type of life are you living? Ask yourself. Am I living a life, living my life in such a way that God will be pleased with me? Am I living a worldly life? Am I living a materialistic life? Am I living a spiritual life? Baba, when I get old, I will go to the temple every Sunday. Baba, the children can't come to the temple, they can't go to the mosque, and they can't go to the church Sunday morning because they're tired. What are they tired doing? They party whole night Saturday. So they're tired, they can't go. And everything else becomes important except God. Everything becomes a priority except God. And the minute you have a problem, you know what happened? Oh God, 9 bamboo lean up in front of your house. Baba, we're doing Hanuman and Hanuman Father and Hanuman Father brother. And they have a neighbor too. We could do that prayers too. Because you want to do anything and everything for help. Do not only seek God in your time of trouble, but remember there is a God in your good time. Do not only look or search for God in your bad time, see Him in your good time too. Recognize Him and appreciate Him in your good time too. And so he says, while my father was praying and divine and holy, I did all the wrong things, but I received a shrap. I received a curse. And this curse was placed on me by my mata. Mata means allow anybody to be unhappy with you, but never, ever, ever allow your mother to be unhappy with you. When your mother opens her mouth and she blesses you, not even God could take that blessing from you. But you see, when your mother cries her tears on you, not even God could take away that tears. Every religion says eternal happiness lies at the feet of mother, and there was a time when all of us as children, our mother and our father, they were everything to us. You remember? Your mother and your father, they were your chauffeur, and they were the cook, and they were the house cleaners, and they were everything. Until you got big. And when you get big, all of a sudden your father can't drive good again. And when you get big and you think that you're an adult, your mother don't cook good again. She food don't taste good. She's put too much salt. And all of a sudden you know how to find all the imperfections in these two perfect beings. I remember as a little child, and I say this all the time. One day my father placed me to sit on top of the table. The TV, sorry. You know, the TV came with that big wooden box. And he was tying my shoelace. And I remember this. And I said to him, you're doing it wrong. And he said to me, always remember, what you know in your big head, I know in my little toe. Mother and father, sometimes you need to tell your children that. What you think you know in your big head, I know in my little toe. Because I have something worth more than what you have. You might have a degree and an LLB and a LDB and everything else. But I have something that is called experience, and that will beat any degree any day. Tell your children. Remind them. He says, I performed all the adharmic actions, and so my mother placed a shrap on me. Because I lived my life like a demon, being a demon, she blessed me that I will have the disposition of a demon. Can you help me? Can you help me to change the way I think? Can you help me to change the way I behave? Can you help me? The only time you could help somebody is when they want to help them. The only time you could help somebody is when they genuinely want to help them. You could take the horse to the well, but you can't force the horse to. And so, looking at this Chandal, a Chandal who is considered to be low, the demon says, help me. The demon is begging a being who is considered to be low for help. Who do we ask for help? Who should we ask for help? Tonight I want to tell you, none of us, we are better than everybody. We are all equal in the eyesight of God. One day we're going down the road, all of us going down the road, and you know what they're playing? You all remember this song? You all know this song? Uto lagan lal priya bhai. No, they mightn't play that, but they're sure to play this. Aaye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela, do din ki zindagi hai, do din ka mela. Every funeral long ago, you hear that. Now you hear all kind of chutney and film song and buju bantan. And Baba hit it over like rock. So we go play a little rock in the funeral. And in my mind I say, oh God, when will we ever learn? There is a time for everything. There is a time for everything. There is a place for everything. I go to do the funeral and I look at the people, I say, we can't start this ceremony. They say, why? I say, what all you put on for the girl? They say, Baba, well, she likes short skirt. And I said, did you give thought? Today is the day when this soul will stand in front of God to give an account for the life that would have been lived. Why didn't you cover up the girl and, Baba, you want she get vexed? I said, it's time for she to get vexed done. And don't worry, when I do your funeral, you're dead and you're dead. Cover her up. We have no respect anymore. We have no respect anymore. Long ago you were going to the press and everybody knew that you had an urni and the urni was to cover you. The minute the pundits say cover your head, well, oh God, everybody say, where all you get that Baba from? We don't like he. Next time he come in and the price is 2 o'clock, we go come 5 o'clock. Well, if you're timing me like that, you're in real trouble. Because when I tell you 2 o'clock, I come in 5 o'clock too. No, you can't correct anybody. No, you can't tell anybody anything, even if it is good for them. You tell a lady, cover your head. And they watch you and they say, Baba, it go spoil me here. In one of our functions, one of my nephews has a girlfriend. My cousin, has a girlfriend, and she talks to nobody. She comes and she sits to do the puja, and I said to him, she should not sit until she's married. She said to him, let Sunil put me out. So I said, you know what? Om Shanti, Shanti's prayers, the devil will come, God will come, whatever. And she comes to do the arti and she's doing the arti for me. And as she's waving the arti, boom, her whole head catches fire. The hairspray blows up in her head. And I look at her and I smile first, of course. And then I take my hand and I start to tap her as though I'm outing the fire. And in my mind I say, God, you're a good God. Bap, bap. Tonight sometimes we need a little wake up. Tonight sometimes we need a little shake up. Tonight sometimes something has to happen to wake us up and to destroy our ego. We can't be egoistic and arrogant and rough and rugged all the time. You cannot be rude and disrespectful all the time. You could do it sometimes, but you cannot do that every time. The longest rope always has a. You cannot be rude and you cannot be disrespectful all the time. There is a time for everything, even your behavior, even the way you speak. And so the demon says, please, bless me. And both of them, they put their hands together. And as they put their hands together, they begin to pray together. Do you know why a temple was created? Do you know why a temple was created and a place of worship was created in every village and in every town? So that the community could come together and pray. The temple belongs to nobody. The temple belongs to nobody. This is my temple. It's mine. Really? Nothing is mine and nothing is yours. This is my temple and I make the rules. You're wrong. This is God's temple and God makes the rules. Well, I am the president. Well, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you. Because somebody has to tell you, though you're the president, there is a president greater than you. And he's called God. Well, this is my seat and I just sit down here. And I'm not moving. And if I don't get that chair, I'm not coming back to the temple. Did you come for a chair or did you come to serve God? Well, me ain't getting microphone to sing. And you see that? Me ain't going back on the stage. The stage will still remain there and somebody else will sing on the microphone. And if you so like to sing on microphone, Price might have a box with a microphone. Sing home in your house. Because 99.9% of the time you're rushing in the temple to light a day, and you're rushing in the temple to do the Hawan, and you're rushing in the temple to do everything, and your name is Pushi Lal. And home, you have done zero. You have done nothing at home. You have done absolutely nothing at home. Your murtis are in darkness. Your house is in darkness. Your children are in darkness. Your marriage is in darkness. Your finances are in darkness. Your job is in darkness because of your mindset. Because you are pushy, doing all the wrong things. And the thing for you to do, you didn't do. Shivratri night, everybody making parsad and rushing to the temple. Long, long line. You can't wait to reach up to offer the parsad. And how much of you offer dar home before you come to the temple? Baba, well, it is Shivratri yet. Well, Lord Shiva present all the time. He knows that you will not be home at 12 o'clock. There are some people, they say, well, Baba, I can't go in the temple, because I have my own Shivlingam. Your Shivlingam, the Shivlingam in the temple, is the same God. It is one God. And He is here, there, and... What makes your God home better than the God in the temple? What makes God in the temple better than the God that you have home? It is one God. But we are caught up in the illusion. Maya tu tagani hum jani, Maya tu tagani hum jani, Maya tu tagani hum jani, Maya tu tagani hum jani. Everything in life, everything about life becomes me and the mine, and all you think about is yourself. Everything about life becomes a show and becomes glamour. Last night, many of you got roses at home. True? Many of you got chocolates and gifts at home. True? When is the last time you bought the flowers and you brought it to the temple and placed it at the foot of your murti and say, God, I brought these flowers with love for you? When is the last time you buy a pack of sugar or a tin of ghee and brought it to the temple and say, when you're making the parsad, use this? When is the last time you did that? Baba, the temple have money. Why I must buy ghee? How will you get any blessing if that's the way you think? When is the last time you thought that there was a yajna and you came and you say, I don't know what I could do to help. Tell me. Do you all cook in a day? Can I come to help you peel the takari? What can I do to help? Long time you had the yajna and everybody rushing to lipe the bedi. Everybody rushing to clean up where the puja will take place. I don't know about you, I used to rush. You know why? I would pick up all the 25 cents. And I was smart. I know that if I had all those 25 cents, they wouldn't remain 25 cents, they would remain dollars. And my intention may not have been good. But the reality is, I did something that was good. And anytime you do something that is good, you may not receive the blessing out of that now, but in time to come, you will be blessed. We have lost ourselves in the Maya, the illusion of the world. Life is much more than glitter and glamour. Life is much more than the things of the material world. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, he says, Arjuna, anything you touch, anything you smell, anything you hear, anything you taste, that is not real. That which is real cannot be smelled, it cannot be tasted, it cannot even be heard. That which is real. Do not hold on to physical things, because a time will come when those things will keep you back. And so the demon and the chandal, they begin to pray. And out of nowhere, Bhagwan Vishnu, he appears, he appears. And as Lord Vishnu appears, he holds the hand of the Chanda, the locust, and he holds the hand of the demon. And up into the heavens, they ascend. Mahavishnu Bhagavan ki Jai. Will we not be happy to know that God will hold our hand? Tonight, while the world will consider you to be a demon, while the world will consider you to be low or high or fat or thin or ugly or pretty or whatever they will consider you to be, you be the best bhakta. You be the best servant of Bhagwan. And while you build a relationship with your neighbor and your friends and your husband and your children, be sure to remember to build a relationship with God. And while you're busy buying gifts for the beings of the world, remember to buy a gift for God. Remember to do something for God. Long time we had a yagya and everybody will bring something. You all remember that? In 2019 we bring something. It is called a container to carry home food. Baba, they cook enough to eat and to carry. Bring the flowers. You have the flowers in the yard? Bring it. Don't wait for the Baba to chant a mantra to offer it. You go up to the Murti and you offer it. Don't wait for the Baba to take the leaves from you. You know that the leaf for the Devi is neem. Go and offer it by her foot. Long ago when you had temple service, it was temple service, you know. It was a task to clean up in front of murtis and things. You all remember that? It was a task to find the dakshina among the leaves and the flowers and all of the things. Now the poor murti can't even see a leaf. Now the poor murti can't even see a drop of water. Because you dress up and you sit down, and when you sit down you can't move. Because Baba, if I walk, my skirt could fall down. It's heavy. And every way you walk, you're only hooking up on everything and everybody, and you're pulling down everything. And you ever see that before? I go to the wedding and the Dulahin's clothes hook onto my dhoti, and she pulling me. I said to her, wait. She said, why? Are we doing something wrong? I said, yes, you're pulling down my clothes. Tonight, life is much more than glamour and glitter. Mahavishnu Bhagavani ki Jai. Tonight, members of the family, you know, Auntie Shobha is privileged to have all of her siblings here this evening. To all of you, even Uncle who came from Miami, we want to say welcome and we want to say thank you for coming. But this evening, there is a person who just celebrated their birthday. This evening, as I walked in, I brought a gift for her and she looked at me in awe. But she just celebrated her birthday. I'm going to say this with no apology. I'm going to say this with no apology. I could check the cousins on my hands and my toes. But I could check the one that she loved the most only on one hand and still have some fingers remaining. And I'm not saying in any way it's me. This evening, Auntie Joyce, can you please stand up? Stand up quickly. Auntie Joyce is celebrating her birthday. She celebrated her birthday a few days ago. And she's one of our most loving aunts. You know, she's designed in such a way that every week, well, almost every week, she takes up her phone and she calls me. And you know what she says to me on the phone? I just call to say I love you. And I think that's the best gift that anybody could give to anybody. That's the best gift that an aunt could give to a nephew. That's the best gift. And though she is not a biological mother, though she is not a biological wife, she has every attribute and she has every, what's the correct word? She has the disposition of being mother. Actually, she has the disposition of being the boss. Let me use the right word. And tonight, Auntie Joyce, I want to wish you a happy, happy, happy birthday. There has never, ever, ever been a time that I said to her, I want something as a nephew, and she ever said to me, no. And that's the truth. There has never, ever, ever been a time. So much so that now she doesn't give physical gifts. She does transfers into my account. And she say, did you check? I say, is it big or small? And she say, when you check, you will find out. That's the kind of person she is. She's always willing to do something to make somebody happy. The only bad thing about her is every time she knows I'm coming, she cooks black eye and she knows I don't like that. But she does it intentionally, I think. I think she does that intentionally. And tonight I want to wish you a happy, happy, happy birthday. And may God bless you to remain as beautiful and as loving as you are. And may He bless you with strength and fortitude. And may He bless us with the patience to deal with you, to continue to deal with you. And we want to thank you for being just the person that you are.